All right, hey guys, it's Robert Diego from New American Realty.
Malcolm Gray from Coebec Signature Properties.
Akeem Highland from Oxford Property Group. Today we're going to actually discuss how you can save money and negotiate your rent when renting apartments in the New York City market.
So first thing you want to do is you want to know your comps in the area. So I'm gonna give you an example. If you go online, it's easy. Just go on Zillow.com, Trulia, go on any of these rental websites, and you can see what people are renting for 3 bedrooms for, 2 bedrooms for, 1 bedroom for in your area. If your landlord is charging you $2,800, and on the same block you're seeing people getting rent for $2,300 and $2,200, you got to kind of ask yourself, hey, why is he renting $2,800? Maybe there might be a legitimate reason. Maybe it might come with certain amenities that other apartments aren't coming with. But if it's not, you want to go up to them and have a healthy conversation. You don't want to argue with them. You want to show them straight facts, and you want to do it in a way where they don't feel attacked. In this way, they might be more understanding and lower your rent down to a certain level and be more reasonable with you.
And to add on to Robert's point, you also have to understand the lay of the land. So currently, as you know, we exist in a pandemic. We live in a pandemic where, pandemics affect real estate, right? So in New York City alone, right now we're sitting at the highest point of where there are vacancies in New York City ever. I think right now that's about 5% in Manhattan. So you have to understand that, when it comes to the pandemic, these listings are sitting on the market for a longer time, which means that you also have more leverage to negotiate for lower rent prices.
Yeah, my point is really just more tactical. Like when it comes to me and like when I have a listing, the crucial time, like the fourth quarter, literally is that week before the first. So if you can get in and start looking at apartments that week before the first of the month, we're gonna lose that whole month's rent anyway. If we don't rent it by the first, that whole month is gonna be gone. So that is why you want to definitely get in that week, and you can definitely negotiate the rent. Because I can say, hey, if you don't rent it to me, you're gonna lose 1 month's rent. Divide that by 12. That's how much money you want to take off your rent. For example, if the rent is $2,400, if you divide that by 12, that's $2,000.
Right.
Okay, so you know that you can at least get what was I saying, $200 off your rent. So it'll actually have them gross in the same amount. And also to piggyback off of that, what you want to do is try to put your broker fee inside your rent. So instead of paying your broker fee way up front, you can say, all right, listen, I'll pay you an extra $200 a month, so that way this is now a no-fee apartment. Right. And it just makes sense like that. And if you're getting a month free or 2 months free, and they still want to charge you a broker fee for whatever weird reason, tell them, listen, I'll take 1 month free, and then you guys can pay the broker fee with that other month. And that'll just save you money going in from the start.
That's a super start tip right there. Another thing I want to add on is to know what utilities are included when you're actually looking for an apartment. Because let's say, for example, you got an apartment for rent, or you're looking at an apartment for rent. You go in there, you talk with the landlord. Hey, they say, all right, hey, we want to rent this to you for $2,500. You see and they say no utilities included. And you see other apartments on the market that have all the utilities included, and they're going for $2,500. If you see that there's no extra amenities, you know that that's not a fair deal. You know that they're trying to overcharge you. Keep your money in your pocket, and at the end of the day, you can speak with the landlord fairly. They might not know what's going on because, to be honest with you, all they really deal with is their property. But nowadays, people are more and more technologically advanced, and they're actually going online more and more often. So your landlord might actually know, and they're just trying to get extra money out of you. You want to speak to them not in an argumentative way. Let them know, hey, these utilities are not included. You're charging a little bit too much. Hey, can we come to some kind of agreement? Especially with COVID going on right now, a lot of people are losing their jobs. And if you're a good renter, they might actually be willing to lower that rent down for you.
That's definitely true. And presentation is everything in that process. So that's why you want to come to the deal with everything in hand. You want your pay stubs. Most landlords ask for 3 months of pay stubs. You want to have your credit score. Most landlords, you can come with your own credit report, or they might require you to spend money to run your own credit report, right, in front of them. you have to, that's like $15-$20 per credit report.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine. We can only charge up to $20. So
Right, that's
the
New York State
max.
law, right?
Yeah, right,
So,
right. But we're looking at actual like rental background sites. A lot of them I see them ranging from $30 to $35, and that's not coming to us. But realistically speaking, if you go to these websites, like the good ones to do like both the background and credit check, they charge about $35.
Right.
So
Yeah,
just put that out there.
You know, we can't charge you more. So sometimes the agent will just have to eat it and pay $20 going towards your credit check, and then just have faith in himself, bet on himself that he can get you approved. Because if you don't, then he's out of $20 and you're both out of $20. So now we both have some skin in the game.
Pretty much. And once you have all necessary documents, in hand, it shows the landlord or the agent that you're ready to go and that you're serious. Which means that if you're serious, then they're serious. And if they see that you're willing and you're able to present yourself in a professional manner, they're a lot easier to negotiate with, right?
Yeah.
I know I experienced that many times. So
Right,
far.
definitely. Because presentation is definitely key.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I mean, another thing that we do in Manhattan more than anywhere else, I mean, if people started taking this, going to Brooklyn and taking the strategy, going to the Bronx and other outer boroughs, we would definitely see the market shift tremendously. One thing that we do in Manhattan that doesn't happen in other boroughs is people are going to go and take a big 1-bedroom and just put up a pressurized wall, and now you have a 2. Now you have a 2 for the price of 1. But people are doing the same thing when it comes to 2 bedrooms, and now they turn them into 3 and 4 bedroom apartments. And once you get into that realm, you really control the lay of the land, because now you're able to rent your room cheaper than everyone else. You're always going to have a roommate, and you get to really have the pick of the litter, because if you're renting out rooms, let's say in Brooklyn in certain areas where the rooms are no longer at $1,000, like even for right now with the pandemic, you're not going to eat that when you have actually a lower rent, because it's really a 1-bedroom. And a lot of times with roommate situations, you don't need a living room. You and the people that, especially moving into a room or an apartment where you don't even know the roommates, you guys are not hanging out. You're not chilling together. You're not chilling together in your living room parlaying. Like, throw up a wall, make that living room a bedroom, and then get yourself some savings on your monthly rent.
Right.
All right, so just to clarify, you're telling the people to sublet the apartment and pretty much save their money, rent a portion of it, and pay lower rent.
I'm not telling people to sublet, no.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not telling people to sublet, because sublet means that you're not living there and you're letting someone else live there in your place. I'm telling you to add an occupant. Add someone on to your lease, or just have somebody move in with you, because some landlords, as long as they get the rent, honestly, they don't care.
Exactly.
And if there's no language in the lease that says only the people on this lease can occupy the place, then you can have your brother move in, sister, aunt, whatever, or just put up a wall, because pressurized walls are not permanent, and have somebody move in and occupy the place with you and save you some money.
That's definitely true. And it's also to stay abreast upon, the newest, real estate tools and tricks. For example, we have rhinos, right? I know you guys want a rhino.
Yeah, I use Rhino.
Right. So with rhinos, you're able to, pay your security deposit in monthly installments instead of having to put it all up front. And usually that works very well if you're like a student looking for an apartment, or if you're what we consider a very, very strong rental tenant candidate, because landlords, they want to have the best people at all times. So if you know that you exceed regular standards, then you could definitely negotiate for a rhino and pay that security deposit in installments instead of upfront.
Yeah, and I think real estate agents should definitely look into Rhino. Rhino can save your deal. If you are one of those guys who I need 15% no matter what, and your tenants are coming to you saying they only want to pay 1 month's rent, let them know, listen, I have a program that will actually take away your security deposit up front, and then it'll save your deal. Because we use that. We also use insurance. We mentioned before in previous videos, insurance is a third-party guarantor. Those things save your deal too, in case you don't have the income. Insurance does not work if you do not have the credit to qualify. Let's make that perfectly clear. If your credit is bad, there's really not really much room where you can go as far as renting an apartment, because we can no longer accept the year up front. We can no longer accept extra months in security. So you just have to find someone who's willing to give you a chance. And honestly, like just to detour off of this whole subject, I think that people who have bad credit, more and more of them are moving to places like New Jersey,
Right.
where the laws are more landlord friendly. Until New York makes the tenant laws more landlord friendly, renting an apartment is still gonna feel impossible if you don't have the credit they're looking for with the income to match it.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that, especially nowadays with COVID going on. I do real estate mainly in the Bronx and Westchester area. I'm seeing a lot of landlords being more, and I'm sure this is across the board, they're being very cautious about who they're choosing to be their tenants. And they're doing like some of the people who haven't been doing background credit checks before, now more than ever they're doing background credit checks. They want to see that you haven't had any evictions or anything like that. So the tips he's giving you over there about insurance and Rhino, take it to heart. It can really save you.
So I think what we're trying to say is, if you want to save money and save time, get a realtor. Like that is the number one point to this whole conversation is get a realtor. It's gonna help you in the long run, help you in the short run. And you know, you can call me. My name is Akeem Holland. I'm a realtor with Oxford Property Group. I go by the quarterback agent. You can call
Michael Gray. I'm with the Coldwell Banker Signature Properties.
Or you could call me, Real Estate Rob, Robert Diego, aka Real Estate Rob. Yeah, specializing in rentals in the Bronx area.
Yeah, and I specialize in Brooklyn and New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
What do you specialize in?
Oh, everything.
Everything. He's everywhere. Every borough except Staten Island, because ain't nobody taking no fair. All right. Let's wrap this up. Peace.
All right, y'all. Peace.